Silent Nation is the Lakota name for the land which sustains the buffalo herds and the Sioux tribes. The Lakota tribe was drifting in and out of desperation, and they put all their hope in growing a plant. Their tribe's future ultimately rests on whether the right to grow this plant is an immoral or moral act. America's flirtatious on and off again attempts at growing and regulating hemp have always interested me, and I've written a couple of articles on it for a few publications. In this speech, I will teach you why Native American hemp growth should not be regulated by the d.e.a., how hemp can be used to encourage economic growth, and why Native American tribes need a change called hemp. Hemp growth by a sovereign nation should not be regulated by the d.e.a. The d.e.a. prevents over $1 billion worth of drugs from entering our country. Roughly 1% of all imports/exports involving illicit substances involved in America. It is employed to keep America safe and spearhead the war on drugs through confiscation and destruction of controlled substances anywhere in the world. The d.e.a. has come under a large amount of criticism lately due to legal and medically owned cannabis confiscated from patients. This has led to the death of a few patients, such as noted author Peter McWilliams, who had his and his mother's houses repossessed by the d.e.a. under the premise of searching for legal cannabis. The d.e.a. is a component of the Department of Justice whose primary mission is to, according to the d.e.a.'s webpage at usdoj.gov/dea, accessed on November 18th, enforce the controlled substances laws and regulations of the United States. These laws are set to help keep citizens safe through these seizures. The Standing Silent Nation case boils down to whether the d.e.a. seizure of Native American hemp is for the ultimate good of society or an immoral act. Now that you know about the d.e.a., let's learn a little more about hemp. Hemp can improve the United States economy and industry. As shown on my audience analysis survey, the majority of you knew next to nothing about hemp, and 4 of you actually knew wrong things. Hemp is a strain of cannabis that differs from pot in a few ways. Predominantly, you can't really get high off of it. Currently, the United States is the only industrialized nation in the world to continue its ban on hemp. Canada, France, and China are leaders in hemp growth, while the United States is the largest nation who imports hemp. The United States didn't always behave this way, however. According to the film Hemp for Victory, released and produced by the U.S. Department of Agriculture in 1942, it was used to encourage American hemp growth during World War II with such slogans as, "Grow hemp for the war!" Founding fathers Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin supported cannabis use, and George Washington was quoted as saying, "Make the most you can of the Indian hemp seed, sow it everywhere." This attitude all changed in the 1930s when Mexican gangs began dealing pot, which then became a target for law policymakers to push these gangs out of America. Hemp can be easily grown and used for the following reasons: clothing, oils, moisturizers, to strengthen concrete, vegetarian food with a lot of nutrients, for inflammatory medicine, fiber bags and paper, ironically enough, weed control, and its most important case is biofuel. As a biofuel, hemp produces more energy per acre per year than corn, flax, or any other biofuel available. According to Standing Silent Nation documentarian Surrey Finnea, the Lakota tribe took advantage of hemp's natural industrial nature with a short 120-day growing cycle and an ability to flourish without chemicals, so that even on the semi-arid land of the Pine Ridge Reservation it could grow where plants like corn had failed. Armed with the knowledge of what hemp can do, let's see how it could revolutionize the Native American tribes. The Native American tribes need cultural and economic upheaval. According to Drs. Camilla Venner and Sarah Feldstein of the Journal of Studies in Alcohol and their Natural History of Alcohol Dependence, almost 39% of Native Americans are alcoholic. This means every Native American has roughly a chance of being alcoholic with a coin flip, determined at birth. Compared with their unemployment rate of 85%, more Lakotas are addicted to alcohol than can even afford to buy it. In an interview with Ben Versaw, taken over the place in the summer in 2007, he grew up on a Native American reservation and said, "Kids on the reservations used to drink more alcohol than milk." If the tribes are allowed to grow hemp, it would offer an enormous number of stimulating jobs. Immediate positions would open up for growers and harvesters. A year later, the economy and their industry would boom, as well as allowing more money to be reinvested in the tribe, and more gas stations, food markets, so their tribe can be more revolutionized for the 2000th century. The Lakota tribe is a sovereign Native American tribe living on a reservation in South Dakota. According to my audience analysis survey, none of you have heard of Standing Silent Nation, and a few of you don't know what the term sovereign means. Being a sovereign Native American tribe means that you are granted the ability to operate outside federal and state laws in America. You're more of your own country tucked inside the belly of America. This is why Native Americans are allowed to run casinos and not give money in taxes to the state. They're instead allowed to invest that money directly back into their tribe. Standing Silent Nation is the case of the Lakota tribe legally planting and growing hemp plants in the hope of revitalizing their tribe and having these plants seized and burned by DEA agents, as well as the growers being tried by federal law for a maximum of 10 years in jail. In conclusion, you have been informed about why hemp growth in sovereign Native American tribes should not be regulated by the DEA, how hemp growth can be used industrially for great benefit, and why the Native American tribes need an economic upheaval. The Native American tribe has been broken by new American policy time again and again since the Europeans first began colonizing. The struggling tribes left are remnants of a strong people with a lot of culture that should not be lost. Would you rather stand proud in a nation known for helping stimulate a beaten people, or sit silently on the plains that once sustained the mighty buffalo as they grow dead, just as their people now are?